WBET 1460 at 2:50, 10 minutes away from a news update at 3 o'clock. And tomorrow night, if you are anywhere near Cape Cod and you're looking for a terrific night's worth of entertainment, and especially if you grew up back in the latter part of the 1950s, early part of the 1960s, you'll certainly recognize this voice, who she just got into the Cape Cod area just a few minutes ago, and she's taking time to speak with us. She's performing at the Cape Cod Melody Tent in Hyannis tomorrow night. Let's say good afternoon to Connie Francis. Connie, welcome to WBET Radio.
Well, thank you, Peter. Pleasure to talk with you.
Now, welcome into town, and you are all set for your show tomorrow night at Cape Cod, and you've been now doing, I guess, the summer tour a little bit so far. How's it been going for you?
Everything's been going great. Everything was great in San Francisco. Everything was great in Las Vegas, and then I came to New York to do the Regis Philbin show, and I got onto an elevator and broke my ankle.
Now, you had to, if I remember, you were in the neighborhood down in Cohasset not too long ago.
I was there 2 nights ago.
And you had to perform with a broken foot.
Right.
Now, that obviously, cutting down on your mobility around the stage, is it affecting your show in any other ways? Certainly a trooper for going on anyway.
No, actually it isn't really. It prevents me from dancing, which is a blessing.
Was that a big part of your act that you had planned, the dancing aspect of it at all?
Well, the 50s numbers, you know, and the 60s numbers, and the rock and roll stuff, yeah.
Sure.
I did a lot of that.
Sure. And first of all, too, welcome back to the stage. It's awfully nice to have you back performing, and I'm sure that when you get to the old numbers that a number of us grew up with, you're getting a terrific performance from those folks on those numbers.
Everyone seems to enjoy the show, Peter. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, that's great. Back in 1958 was when it all kicked off for you with Who's Sorry Now. A couple of questions I'd like to just ask you in terms of the early days. You spent some time early on with Dick Clark and the American Bandstand, the early heydays there. What was that like for you?
It was wonderful. That's where I grew up. A lot of people associate with being from Philadelphia. Everyone thinks I'm from Philadelphia because of my association.
Right.
But it was a great, great time, I'll tell you.
And now you also spent some time, if I remember correctly, with folks like Don Kirshner and Neil Sedaka in the Brill Building in New York.
It's true. Donnie brought, after Who's Sorry Now, I was having a pretty hard time coming up with a follow-up song to Who's Sorry Now, until one day Donnie brought these 2 aspiring songwriters to my house. Donnie was a very struggling song publisher, and one of them was Howie Greenfield, who was a gopher at a music publishing firm, and the other fellow was a Juilliard student named Neil Sedaka. And they played me such gorgeous music for 97 hours. I listened to every slow ballad they ever wrote, and then I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't think you boys are going to make it in this business. Your music's too beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's educated, and the kids don't dig this kind of stuff anymore.
Sure.
So Howie whispered to Neil, hey, Neil, play the one we just gave to the Separate Sisters. And Neil whispered back, not that one, what are you, crazy? She's a classy singer, she'll be insulted. But Neil insisted, play it already, she hates everything we wrote, doesn't she? What have we got to lose?
Right.
So Neil played it, and I think about 4 bars of the song was all I had to hear before I started jumping up and down and shouting, now you guys got my next record, now you're talking. And the next record was Stupid Cupid, which was Neil's and Howie's first.
Sure. And Howie Greenfield, Neil Sedaka wrote a couple of songs that you ended up recording.
Lots of them, including Where the Boys Are, many.
Terrific, of course, that your venture into filmdom as well. Mm-hmm. And how was the acting experience? Did it leave you with a positive feeling, or just something you decided maybe to pursue a little bit, but not as much?
No, I was never, as an actress, I was always a very good daughter. Yeah. And I really made films strictly because, as Elvis did, the kids wanted to see them. They were money-making films, but they were I think Where the Boys Are was my Gone with the Wind.
Sure.
Everything was downhill from that point on, you know. And I never took it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Something that intrigued...
I am going to be taking filmmaking seriously because I'm going to be producing my life story, and also a movie called Where the Men Are, and out of Fort Worth, Texas, and a movie called Star-Crossed Lovers, which will be the Bobby Darin, Connie Francis story.
Any time frame on this, Connie?
But I think we'll be starting Where the Men Are before the end of the year.
Terrific. So you'll be behind the camera in a production direction type of capacity.
Right. Well, not direction. I don't know enough about film.
Okay.
But production and also I'll be doing a part in the movie as well.
Terrific. Terrific. Let me ask you something that intrigues me. I think after today I can say that Connie Francis and myself have two things in common anyway. One is our Italian heritage, and the other is that we both played the accordion when we were little kids.
Oh, you had everybody who had an Italian father who was living.
That's right. I think you took it a little bit further than I did, but we have on Sundays here an Italian program. Nick Zabelli runs a show called A Little Bit of Italy, and he does play a lot of your music. And when you got up into your upper teens and really started to receive the pop music stardom and all that entails, it would seem to me you still felt a terrific attachment to your Italian heritage to produce that music.
Very, very important part of my life, and the music that I grew up with. And but when my dad first suggested that I record an album of Italian songs, I said, no, come on, American people are not going to buy Italian songs. And my father said, oh, dummy. He has a quaint but elusive charm. He said, dummy, there are 40 million Italian Americans living in this country, this ethnic group in the United States. So he actually convinced me to record all those initial Italian songs, Mama, and Jealous of You, and Valdi La, and the others. But and I'm really glad that I did, because it made me sort of like a household member of every Italian family in the country.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to ask you this question. When you performed the song Mama during your stage performance, there are a lot of emotion attached to that for you. Could you just share that with us?
Yes, there is. It's a song that is my favorite of all those that I've recorded that became popular, because it's a song worldwide that touched the hearts of more people than any other. And I was saying on stage the other night, I said for the first time, I don't know why, but that when the day comes that I lose my mother, I will never be able to sing that song again, that's for sure.
Very touching, very, very emotional attachment to that song for you. Any plans for some new recordings on your part, Connie?
Yes, I about 3 weeks ago, for Malaco Records down in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, I did 2 albums, 16 of them remakes of my previous hits, and 8 new songs that I like very, very much, and they'll be sold on direct mail order TV in a couple of months.
Terrific. So the show is tomorrow night, Cape Cod Melody Tent. If I could, just let me take a minute. It's a long list, some of the songs you could hear, and when you think about Connie Francis's career, my goodness, an extensive one. Who's Sorry Now, My Happiness, Lipstick on Your Collar, Among My Souvenirs, Everybody's Somebody's Fool, My Heart Has a Mind of Its Own, Where the Boys Are, Breaking in a Brand New Broken Heart, Vacation, Don't Break the Heart That Loves You, Many Tears Ago, Stupid Cupid, Mama that we just mentioned. You tend to throw in any of the Italian selections in your stage act?
Oh, sure.
Terrific.
Oh, yeah, I do. At least, I would say 1, 2, 3, 5 of them.
Terrific.
I would have tomatoes thrown at me if I didn't do that. Are you kidding?
Well, I'll tell you, we gave away, as a matter of fact, I did last week, we gave away a few tickets to the performance tomorrow night, and if the phone response we got is any indication, you have a tremendous number of fans, Connie, left in this area, and I'm sure nationwide, that first of all, are so glad you're back in the spotlight and on the stage, and we welcome you, and we certainly wish you the best tomorrow night. Have a great show, and also on the rest of your...
I have to say that Boston has always been my town. I was a hit in Boston before anyone knew who or what I was anywhere else in the country, and that's the truth. When I was working in Stanley Blinster's place at the age of 17, outside of Boston, nobody knew who I was.
Terrific.
And it's always been a great area for me. The people have always been very, very supportive.
Connie, we wish you so much good luck, and it's awfully nice to have you back, and congratulations on being back, and best of luck in your tour over the rest of the country as well, and thanks for speaking with us today.
Thanks so much, Pete.
Okay, Connie Francis, thank you very much. She is at the Cape Cod Melody Tent in Hyannis tomorrow night. You can still get tickets. They're available at Ticketron outlets. You can call the box office down on the Cape at 775-9100. It'll be a great show tomorrow night with Connie Francis, and we thank her for speaking with us at WBET 1460.